Hello everybody, you're listening to Mark Ling and I've got with me two really special guests. One of these guys' names is Adam Horwitz, I hope I've pronounced that correctly,
Yeah.
and 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 the other guy is Tim Donovan. And these guys are mobile marketing experts and they're actually very, very young as well. I'm talking over 10 years younger than me actually. I used to be the young guy in internet marketing and now Adam's 19 years old. Tim, how old are you?
I'm kind of in between. I'm 27.
Oh, you're 27. Okay, so you're not too much younger than me then. And anyway, these guys are really successful at both doing mobile marketing themselves, but also they've come up with this model that works really well for mobile marketing to small and local businesses. Now, I've seen several people have great success offering services like website design or search engine optimization to local businesses. I've got friends of mine that live in my own hometown of Christchurch that are making thousands of dollars a week doing that. And then I go ahead and hear about your guys' model in the mobile marketing space and I think, wow, that's got even less competition and higher perceived value. And as you're about to teach us, there's a lot of things businesses can do to make a lot of extra money, and you can be that guy that offers them that service, and it's actually relatively simple. And anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Adam and Tim, who are going to be teaching you all about how to make 30,000 a month with text message marketing. Welcome along, guys.
Yeah, thank you for the intro. So pretty much it's a very, very basic and straightforward method, but it works really well. So pretty much what I'm going to be teaching you today is how to make $30,000 per month with texting. What I mean by texting is doing text message marketing and mobile marketing for local businesses. And you see here, P.S. Markling rocks, which he does. So that's that. So let's move on to the
Thanks,
next
guys.
one. So the next thing is some crazy stats. And I don't know if you guys know this already, but over 5 billion people have cell phones in the world right now. And the crazy thing about that is only 1.8 billion people have access to the internet. So if you look at the comparison between that, there's way more people with cell phones. I'm sure all of you watching have a cell phone, and you take it with you all the time. So that's a very important thing to know. And the other thing is 97% of text messages are opened, and that is just nuts. Versus less than 20% for email, which is just crazy. And the other thing is mobile is going to be a $1 trillion business by 2014, which is just absolutely nuts. Mobile's growing each and every day like crazy. And one last thing here. Let me see something real quick. When you leave your house, what do you always bring with you? You bring with your cell phone, your wallet, and your keys. And your cell phone is always the one thing you bring with. And the other thing is, how often do you text? And that is just crazy. I mean, everyone's texting all the time. It's a huge thing. And the last thing is, less than 1% of businesses do any mobile marketing right now. So that is something I want you guys to realize, that less than 1% of businesses do any mobile marketing. Hold on one second here. My thing is glitching. Hold on one sec.
That's working like that. Maybe you might just have to have it on this mode here because obviously that full screen mode seems to be a bug, but it's working when you got it in this mode.
Hi. I was told by some people that I wasn't showing up, so I want to make
Yeah,
sure
but
that
this is showing up like this is fine. It just
okay,
wasn't. So we'll just use it like this. It's just people will be able to see the sort of little preview down the side, but you can't really read that.
okay, cool. So there we go. Is that good?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Perfect. All right. So sorry about that, guys. It wasn't showing up for some reason. I don't know why that was. But if you see here, what I just talked about, it's just crazy that there's so many people with cell phones, and the comparison between people who are opening up text messages and people that are opening up emails is just like mind-blowing. And 90, you always open up a text message. It's the one thing that pops up on your screen, and that's a huge thing. So those are some crazy stats about mobile, which I want you guys to realize. And the next thing is, businesses need your help. Businesses know mobile is the future. They just don't know how to get involved and think it's super hard to do it. So imagine what they would pay you to do it for them. And the thing is that on average, a local business will pay you thousands of dollars per month, and all you have to do is send text messages for them. And the thing is that there's a bunch of different local businesses out there that can use mobile marketing and text message marketing, everything to increase their business, and that includes restaurants, real estate, doctors, retail shops, etc. Let me give you an example of what I mean by restaurant. let's say you go to a restaurant, and a restaurant obviously wants to let their customers know when they're having a deal. What they can do is put little little card things. I don't know if you've seen them before, but just like a little thing that goes on the table of each table in the restaurant, and it says text the restaurant's name to a short code, like 41242, for example, and receive text coupons from us. And what happens is, let's say the restaurant's having a slow day, it's around 3 o'clock, and they want to drive a lot of traffic in for dinner that night. What they can do is send out a text broadcast to all of those people. 97% of them will open up these text messages, and the text message could say, bring this text in and receive 10% off your dinner tonight, or receive free sodas with your dinner tonight, whatever it is, and immediately you'll have flooded these people coming into the restaurant, bringing their friends in as well, because they're going to get a coupon and it says, just show this text coupon to your waiter or waitress. And this is a great way for restaurants to obviously get floods of traffic instantly, which if they wanted to do this before, they would have to send email broadcasts out, and the chances are they didn't even have the email address of their clients. And if they did, what would happen is, of their customers, and if they even did, guess what? They would check it in like a day and a half, maybe a day, and then the deal would be over and it wouldn't be instant. So that's one thing with restaurants and all these local businesses that could be really beneficial when using text message marketing.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Just really quickly, a lot of restaurants out there, they will spend $1,000 without even batting an eyelid to put a regular advertisement in a newspaper that takes up a quarter of a page, for instance, or larger, and they'll pay that, and they will not get the response rate that they'll get from mobile marketing. And the reason for this is that when they market, say in a newspaper or something, they're marketing to a very diverse crowd. When they market via mobile, they're marketing to people that have probably already visited their business before, or at least checked out their website. So you're talking about much more qualified traffic. So for them to pay you $1,000 a month, it's a lot more beneficial to them than other forms of advertising. They'll get more bang for buck, they'll notice, than spending on other forms of advertising. I'll let you carry on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just for the payout that they're going to get from doing it, it's just nuts. Another thing is, let's say for a real estate agent, instead of them having to set up the signs with the paper of, let's say it's a house that they're selling, and there's a paper with all the pricing of the house and the description and everything, instead of doing that, what they can do is set up a thing that says text the real estate agent. They could have a certain, we call it a YEP word, what people text to, a YEP word that is specific for that house, and text it to the short code, and then what happens is an automatic response will go back to the person saying, this is what this house is worth, this is what comes with the house, blah, 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 blah. But now the real estate agent also has a list of all the people who are obviously interested and then can contact them. So that's another way. Doctors, a dentist, they can use it for keeping their customers and all their people who use their services updated with when their next appointment is, stuff like that, through texting, rather than having the person call when their next appointment is another thing. And retail shops, obviously, if there's new sales going on or whatever it is. So really any business can take advantage of mobile. And the crazy thing about it is you can help these businesses all from their home, which has really never been done before. You're probably assuming when it comes to doing local business, mobile local business marketing and everything, you have to go from business to business, talk to the owner face to face to do any of this stuff. Well, it's actually, I'm kind of lazy when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I actually figured out a way to do it from my house, so I don't actually have to see the business owner face to face ever, which is another really cool thing. So the next thing here, demo time. So that kind of leads us into the next thing, which is I want to show you guys a demo of how I set up a campaign from scratch with a local business, and just show you how quickly I can do the whole process. And really, it's going to be super fast. So that's what I'm going to do right now, Mark. I'm going to take the PowerPoint off, and I'm going to show demo, all right?
That's good.
Awesome. Alrighty, so this is the tool I had created for myself. Now, you guys, I'm going to do this tool for free today. If you guys want to go to localmobilemonopoly.com/map-tool, you guys can have access to the tool as well. And what this tool is I pretty much created for myself. I didn't like going to the Google Maps place to actually search for local businesses and do it that way. I actually like doing it using my own custom tool, which makes it easier for me to find local businesses. And you'll realize why it's easier than actually using Google Maps, even though it is Google Maps inside of the tool, but we just made it easier to organize the whole thing. So let's say you want to look for restaurants in Los Angeles, California, for example, all right? All you have to do is click search, And what happens is it pulls up all the restaurants in Los Angeles, and then it gives a list to them below here as well. Let the thing load though. I love the internet being slow because it's rainy. Here we go. So pretty much it'll load, but all these local businesses show up on the map here. And the crazy part about it is you can actually organize it by like subcategories. So American food, deli, Chinese, Mexican, Thai food. And if I click one of these, it'll update it on the map here. So you can get all the it's not showing up yet. Hold on. And pretty much what happens is all the local businesses will also show up right underneath here with the information. So let's see, I'm going to click, let me try one more time for you guys. My internet's slow here for some reason. And by the way, if I'm cutting out at all, that's because, am I cutting out at all, Mark? Just to make sure.
A little bit, but not too bad. It's okay, mostly good.
It's because of the internet. Hopefully it'll work this time though. Let's see. Yeah, the internet now is completely frozen. Hold on a second. But pretty much in a nutshell, this tool allows me to find local. Here we go. It's loading now. Alrighty. So here we go. All right, perfect. Restaurants. And so there we go. Perfect. All right, so now you can see after the 500th try, because of the internet here, the restaurants have now shown up underneath here. So what this allows me to do is I get the address of the local business and the phone number. And what I do is I open up an Excel sheet or any document or anything, and I put these into a file where I can organize it and then go back and contact the local business later. But this is a great way for me to build a huge database of local business that I'm interested in contacting to doing their mobile marketing for them. So you can see here right now it's just all restaurants, but now if I want, let's say, Chinese food, for example, it's going to automatically pull up all the Chinese food in Los Angeles, and now it's going to also put them down here. So now you can see Yang Chow Restaurant, Hopley's Seafood, and you can get their phone number and put it in just like that. And the crazy thing about it is these categories that I've picked here are the categories that I've had the most success with when it comes to mobile marketing with local businesses. So restaurants is obviously the number one, and then retail, when underneath retail, if you see here, if I click submit, you're going to see a lot of other, it's not just clothing, I actually have a bunch of other things that pop up. I have furniture stores, camera stores, jewelry, shoes, computer stores, electronic, liquor stores, grocery stores, bookstores. So you can organize it by all of these, pet stores if you want to do, and then you can tell people when new pets come into the store with text updates, but you can see all the pet stores are now updated here. And you can do it for real estate, medical, nightlife is another one I have right here, which is going to do bars and clubs. And the thing is, for bars and clubs, bars and lounges and everything, they can use text message marketing with really anything that they're doing. Let's say they want to have a deal going on where you get free drinks from 4 to 6 or something. They could send out a text broadcast, get a flood of people coming in with all their friends, obviously, and now have their places instantly popping with people. I mean, it's just a great way for them to keep connected with their customers. So what I do is I create a huge database of lists right on here of all the local businesses that I want to contact, which takes me about 10 minutes to do. You guys see it gives the address and everything, and then you can subcategorize. It's super easy to do. So if you guys, just so you guys know, again, if you want to get access to this right now, it's localmobilemonopoly.com/map-tool, and then once you do that, you can get access to this. And then the next thing that I do is I create a mobile helpers account, which is this. And what mobile helpers is, it's a website that I developed where I created where anyone can create their own mobile helpers website, which is a website they can approach a local business with so they look professional and they don't really have to do anything else but just give the local business their link to their mobile helpers account. So I'm going to log into one of my mobile helpers accounts right now and show you what it looks like once you log in. But this is inside of the mobile helpers account, and as you can see here, you have an inbox, edit profile, and everything. But before I actually show you that, let me just go to mobilehelpers.com/Adam Horowitz. And this is one of my demo accounts that I created. And as you can see here, this is what your mobile helpers account will look like. And this video right here, I'm not going to play it now, but it's demonstrated in a way where there's actual, we have actual hands that move paper around with the actor who talks. And it makes it a very, very great presentation to give to local businesses. And the cool thing about it is, when a local business is presented with a page like this, they really feel like they're being contacted by someone who knows what they're doing, and we're making it easy for you to create these help websites. So if, by the way, if you want to create a Mobile Helpers website for free, you can go and do that since you're on this webinar right now. It's mobilehelpers.com/login. So once you do that, you'll get a website that's created like this. And you'll see here it says About Adam Horowitz, and that's my name, obviously. This is a test account. You can put whatever you want here. You can upload your own picture here. That's me, by the way. And if you scroll down here, all this stuff, which is why you need us, this is all pre-made and it converts. We've tested it with local businesses. So we've pre-made this stuff for you. And get in touch. You can put your phone number, where you're located. It shows a little map, and so on. So that's that. So let me just show you how easy it is to create one of these. This is what your account looks like. And before I get into that, you'll notice right here on the page, there is a Contact Us tab. And if you click the Contact Us tab, this is so local business can actually contact you on your Mobile Helpers page. So they type in their name, email, whatever. And once they do that, if you log into your Mobile Helpers account and you click on Inbox, you have people that write stuff to you, which is really cool because then you could read it right here in the spot and then you could answer them as well and write back to someone, all from your Mobile Helpers account, which makes it easier for you, and also you don't have to go from Gmail back to Yahoo, back to your Mobile Helpers account if the local business is trying to contact you. So that
just interrupt and say, I just want to remind people, because we've got several hundred people on this webinar, and I'm getting questions being asked left, right, and centre from people. But please save your questions to the end of the webinar, because a lot of these questions are going to get covered on the webinar, and if they're not, then we will take them at the end of the webinar. Okay, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. So just letting people know, we'll take questions at the end of the webinar. Also, just want to let you know, Adam, that you've got a little bit of a lag going. So just bear that in mind when you're switching screens and talking about what's on your screen. There may be, for different people, up to maybe 5 seconds delay.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah,
no problem.
Internet over here. Alrighty, cool. So pretty much that is what you can do with your Mobile Helpers account, and it's very, very cool. So when you create your Mobile Helpers account, I'll just log out here. All you have to do is go to mobilehelpers.com/admin user or mobilehelpers.com/login, and then you come to this page here, and then you just click register. And literally to create your account, you can see here, all you have to do is type in your first name, your last name, your email address, your password. You repeat your password, your location. Are you located in the United States or not? You just check one of those off. Phone number, your short biography, upload a picture of you like you saw a picture of me on there, and then you pick what your desired link is. So whatever you want your Mobile Helpers link to be, so mobilehelpers.com/ maybe your name, because then it's more personal and you can approach local businesses and be like, yeah, this is my Mobile Helpers account / your name, and it's easier to explain to people. So that is what you can do, and your desired link is your link. No one else can take that link, so that's specific to only you. Just like when you get a domain somewhere, that domain can't be taken by anyone else. Just like Mobile Helpers, that is your domain. So now that you can have found all these local businesses using the map tool, and now that you have pretty much a Mobile Helpers website that you can go and approach them with, the next thing is, how do you do the text message marketing for them? Well, actually, when I first started doing local business marketing and mobile marketing for local business, I realized that it was quite tough to do text message marketing in the beginning because people just didn't really know where to get started with it. The softwares that were out there weren't very good for doing it, and the only people who were actually doing it were these Fortune 500 companies. So I actually had my development team develop a software called YepText, which allows me, when I was doing it back then, to send out text broadcasts to local businesses, customers, and stuff like that, and I used it for myself. And this is the software that is YepText, and hopefully you guys can see it here. And pretty much, YepText, let me make sure I'm logged in still. Might have been cookied out. There we go. I'll log back in here. So this is the YepText account, and really inside of YepText, I made it super easy for myself because I wasn't the best. I'm not the best tech-savvy type of guy when it comes to this kind of stuff. So really, it's going to be easy for anyone that uses a texting service like this. But what it basically is you have certain Yep words, and remember how I was talking about Yep words before? Yep words is what a local business will have their own specific Yep word. So let's say a restaurant is called Jack's Deli or something. Jack's Deli, there you would go to Jack's Deli and you would say, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to create a Yep word for you called Jack's, for example, and we're going to have all the people that come to your restaurant text to Jack's to start being put onto your list that you can send text broadcasts to. And what you can do is you do that all inside of YepText. So right here with Yep words, I have 3 Yep words registered, and you can see them Atom, Demo, and Example. And what those yep words are pretty much are just, let's take for example, Atom is Jack's. We'll use that as their example. So you can set up an auto reply message that goes back to everyone who signs up to Jack's yep word and say, thanks for subscribing. We will be sending text coupons over soon, or whatever. I mean, honestly, you can put whatever you want there, but you want to get them excited for it because they just subscribed for text coupons from Jack's, you know? And then you just click Update. And now from then on, everyone will pretty much be able to text to Jack's, will then get this response back. And what happens is it then gets collected into your contacts, and then you can actually send a group messages into all the different people that, let's say, text to Jack's, and you can actually send a text broadcast to all of Jack's people. So let's remember we're using Adam as Jack's for now. We'll just say Adam, and let's say Jack calls us up and is like, all right, we want to send out a text broadcast at 4 o'clock tonight because there's a text, because we want to have some more people come in for dinner, whatever it is, you know. So what you can do is just log into your YepText account and just say, all right, come in tonight and receive 20% off dinner. Show this text. And that's all you do, and then you just click submit, send it to Jack's Yep word, which is all of Jack's customers, and boom, you're good to go. So that is pretty much how you do the whole process. It's super simple. The first step is you go and find the local businesses using a free tool that I gave to you guys here. Then you guys just create your Mobile Helpers account. You contact them through the tool. And actually, let me just show you real quick. On the tool here, if you click on the actual page, another great way to do it is it opens up their actual Google Maps account. And some of the restaurants and some of the clubs and local businesses have their actual email on this page here. This one doesn't, if you look at it here. They don't actually have it, but some of them do, and you can just send an email to them with your Mobile Helpers link in it, and then you don't have to leave your house or anything, which is a great method to do. So that pretty much is how I do the whole funnel, and I'm able to get lots of local businesses to come with my services and pay me thousands of dollars per month for doing their text message marketing, which takes me, you can see here, 5 minutes to set up a text message whenever they want me to do it. And the other cool thing about it is inside of YepText, if you guys have an iPhone or a Droid or any type of cell phone that has a website on it that can actually view the internet, we have apps, so you can actually use the apps, which means if you're out with your family or something and they contact you and say, can you send a broadcast, and you can't make it to a computer in time, you can use the apps or you can use the mobile website, which any type of phone can access, and you can broadcast straight from your phone for that specific campaign or whoever you're trying to do it for. So we wanted to make sure that was built into it just for that reason. So that's pretty much the whole thing. So what I'm going to do now is head back over to the PowerPoint and continue now that you guys know exactly how I run my campaigns and everything. So
I'll just quickly ask you, does this work outside of the United States, or is this only, like YepText, does it only work for America, or what's the deal there?
Well, with what happens actually is you can do this for anywhere in the world. YepText is specifically right now for the United States, but the thing about it is we've built it in a way where if you're outside of the United States, you can run campaigns for businesses in the United States. We actually teach people how to do that. I have a few people in South Africa and England doing that right now, actually, and it works very well for them. And the other thing is YepText, we're expanding it in the next month internationally to other countries.
So to work in other countries in about a month?
Correct. That's what our goal is in the next month or so.
Okay, so, and outside of that, though, just letting people know there definitely are other services in your own country.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like obviously this is the one that Adam uses for people in America. But does this work in Canada right now, or just
right
America?
now? It's just the United States, correct? Right now. But the thing is that the United States is actually the hardest place to get a short code. And then the other countries are actually much easier. So now that we have the United States locked down, you can go to other countries and get that pretty easily. But I actually use 3 other services. TextMagic is one of them. FastSMS.com is another one that I use outside of the United States for businesses that are not located in the United States. And they are very, very good services as well. So there are alternatives. It's definitely not the only one out there. So that's that. So let me go back.
All right, I'll let you carry on.
All righty. Let me know if there's any other questions, by the way.
Yeah, well, no, we'll take all the questions at the end, because otherwise I'll end up getting hundreds of questions and we won't be able to continue on with the presentation. So we'll take questions at the end, guys.
All right, perfect. So how quick was that? It literally took me less than 30 minutes to set up everything. You guys saw it live. The best part is that it only takes me 5 minutes to maintain. Like I said before, these local businesses, when they want to send it after you set it up for them first, which takes them 30 minutes to do, the best part is it takes 5 minutes to maintain because they'll just contact you and say, look, we want a text message sent out at this time this afternoon for whatever reason it is, or this morning. And you actually set up inside of Text or any other texting service out there, you can set up times for it to broadcast automatically. So let's say they want to send it out at a time. If you're located in another country and you aren't going to be awake when they want it to be sent out, you can set it up before you go to bed and it'll actually broadcast for you. So it's kind of, in a nutshell, it's kind of, if you guys use Aweber or iContact, anything like that, it's the same sort of method, but it's all about text message marketing. So it's instead of email, it's texting. That's the difference. So think about how many businesses are in your area. I want you guys to really think about that for a second. If you think about local restaurants you go to or shops that you shop at, little liquor stores, whatever it is, there's probably tons of places in your area that you can, even your mind's probably thinking right now, they can actually use something like this and take advantage of it. And remember that less than 1% of businesses do any mobile right now, which is something that is just crazy. 99% of the businesses around you do no mobile. And that is a huge, huge opportunity. And it's actually very easy to sell your services to local businesses. And the thing is that these local businesses, they may have been approached before about Google, getting ranked on Google or doing PPC or whatever. And the thing about these local businesses, from what I've seen, is when you approach a local business, they're like, all right, where's the proof? I want to know how I can get ranked on PPC. I want to know how I can get ranked on SEO or get put on top of the PPC ads, whatever it is. But the thing with texting is you can literally walk in there and say, look, send a text message to this yep word real quick and watch what comes back to you. And right there on the spot, they're sold on it. And the thing about it is they know all their customers have cell phones. They know that they see all the people out there doing it, all the big companies doing it. They just didn't know how to get involved themselves. So they're pretty much pre-sold on it, which is an awesome thing. You don't have to sell them on anything, which is awesome. And this is the future, and there's literally no competition right now, which I want you guys to really understand. And Tim, I want to see if you want to throw in anything, just if I missed out on anything here.
No, I think so far you're really covering everything. Basically, the biggest issue that we saw, because I remember a few years ago trying to sell local business services for SEO, and it was hard to kind of quantify to people right on the spot, like what it was worth to them, and then the other thing was that either they had been approached.
Nobody can hear Tim because he's. You need to speak a lot louder and a lot closer to the microphone.
Okay, basically all on top of the microphone right now. Can they hear me now?
It's a bit better now, yeah.
We'll go with it. It's really hard to hear. I've got a lot of people saying no, but we'll just go with it.
Okay. Basically, my experience was that it was much harder to sell stuff like SEO, like Adam said. I've actually been out there trying to do it myself. And mobile has been so much easier to sell just because you can prove it right there on the spot, and because these businesses have never been approached about it. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's just they're pre-sold on it, like I said before, which is awesome.
Tim, would you be able to call in instead or something? Because I honestly couldn't make out what you were saying personally. Like, it's really, really hard.
Sure.
So it may be better if you could find out a way of doing that. I'll let you guys carry on, Adam.
Alrighty, cool. Yeah. So really, like Tim said, if you guys could hear, people are pre-sold in it already, so there's no real selling involved, which is awesome. So what we did next, and the thing that we did next was after a few of my top students and I talked about what we were doing, we realized that this could be something that we can teach more people out there since it was so easy. And hold on a second.
He needs to turn his mic off.
Yeah. I don't know where he is. All right, I think he turned it off now. All right, perfect. So pretty much we realized that more people can use this. And we also realized that there are more than 29 million businesses in the U.S. alone, not counting worldwide. I mean, if you think about how many businesses are worldwide, it's way, way more than 29 million. And we couldn't tackle them all ourselves. I mean, that's the only thing. If I wish I could go after every local business out there, but it's impossible. So for a few months we basically sat down together and mapped out an entire process all the way down to the contracts we use and everything for local business, for doing mobile marketing for local businesses, because really it's super, super simple. So we came up with LMM then. And what is LMM? LMM is Local Mobile Monopoly, and it's a step-by-step video training on exactly how you can copy exactly what we did with local businesses, and also included is our own texting service, which is YepText, what I just showed you, which you can use to send out text messages to your list that you build for the local business. And even with even have private webinars with our top students. Mary Wilhite, actually, I don't know if you've heard of her. She's doing $30,000 per month right now with mobile marketing for local businesses, and she's doing exactly that. She covers the Atlanta area in the United States, which is awesome. And we also will always keep adding new stuff into the members area as we learn more things. And the thing is that it's an ever-growing subject. There's always new things being brought up to us about mobile marketing. There's always new things being added. So it's not just something that will just be cut off immediately. I mean, there's always new things. So the other thing is Mobi Makers, and when you also gain access to everything, you also receive access to our software that easily creates mobile optimized websites. Now, let me just get into that for a second. If you guys don't know, mobile optimized websites are huge right now because local businesses realize that they need to have a website that's mobile optimized for all the mobile traffic, because there's a crazy amount of traffic that are using Google at local places and stuff to find businesses, and they're going to a website that is not mobile optimized, and they can't really look at the website as the local business would obviously want them to see it. So with these websites, I'm able to charge up to $800 per website that I create for a local business, which takes me about 10 minutes to set up. That's it. So these local businesses are willing to pay $800 for one mobile optimized website to be created, which is just crazy, because that shows you how much perceived value it is to them. They really need these websites, and the cool thing is, now that you can create them with the software that I developed, it makes it so much easier. And I was using this way before, the software myself, and it's just like, before, when you had to go create mobile optimized websites, you would have to go and actually go to like Elance, get it outsourced, and it would cost like thousands of dollars to create one mobile website, which now, luckily, isn't the case anymore thanks to the software that I created. So on top of that, Mobi Maker software will also host a website for you, so you can charge a monthly fee to local businesses. And the cool thing about that is, you can go to these local businesses, and first you approach them with the text message marketing, and you get them going with texting, and once it's working for them, which we all know it'll work for them, and it's just obvious that it will work, once it works for them, you'll be able to tell them, all right, well, now let me create a mobile website for you. I can charge you $7.99 or whatever it is, create yourself a mobile website, and I'll actually host it for you as well, which means you don't have to do anything. And Mobi Maker software actually will host the website for you. So technically, we'll be hosting it for you when you go out to these local businesses, but you can tell them that you're hosting it for them. You know what I mean? And you can charge an extra $20 per month for that feature right there, where since you're going to be hosting it for them, which is awesome. And the other cool thing is, inside of Mobi Makers, we also have a QR code creator, which allows you to create QR codes. Now, I'm not sure you guys know what a QR code is. Let me show you. I'll actually go to the internet real quick and show you an example of one here. Let's see. Here we go. So you see these little square things over here. These are all QR codes, and pretty much what a QR code is, if someone has a smartphone, they can scan these with their smartphone and it'll pull up a website or pull up some sort of information, whatever they want it to be. And we actually have a tool that will create these QR codes for you within minutes. And these local businesses, they always see these QR codes on big posters in malls or wherever it is. I'm sure some of you have probably seen them before too, and they don't know how to get started with them. So you can actually create them for them. It takes you about, to be completely honest, 5 seconds to create one of these. That's it, 5 seconds. You just type in whatever link you want it to send to, and you click create, and it creates a QR code.
Just a reminder, there's a huge lag between your audio and what's showing on screen. I'm only just seeing some images of QR codes now.
Okay.
I've never seen a QR code before in my life because I'm from New Zealand, so it must be an American thing I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, the thing is that they're actually, in Europe, there's quite a bit of QR codes from what I've seen, but America is just kind of catching on to it now. I mean, it's a really new thing, but a lot of the bigger companies that have marketing development teams behind them and stuff are the ones using these QR codes.
Okay.
And it's just a really cool...
I'm seeing from other people typing in saying they're in Australia, they're in Japan, they're in the UK, so it sounds like they're everywhere, they're just not in New Zealand yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're new, but they're a great thing for local businesses because let's say, for example, a local business, let's say restaurant again. We're using Jack's Restaurant. What you can do is put these little QR codes that you can generate for a local business onto all of the menus in there, and just give them the file, the little JPEG file of the QR code, and let them go and put it on all the menus. And what they can do is on the menu, it could say right above the QR code, check out our website for coupons or whatever. And if someone has a smartphone, they scan that QR code, it'll pull up the mobile optimized website that you've now created for them using MobileMaker software. So now it works hand in hand. So you can actually go to these local businesses and sell them to them for $25, $30, $50, and it takes pretty much 5 seconds to create one of them. And it's a really cool extra addition to add on for local business. So that's the other thing inside of Mobile Makers. And the third thing, which is like one of my favorite things, is when I first got started with mobile marketing, my specialty was driving mobile traffic to mobile optimized squeeze pages and doing that kind of stuff. So I was actually pretty good when it comes to that. So what I also included inside of Mobile Makers is a way to get a hold of mobile traffic in a certain area and drive it to a mobile website or drive it straight to a local business. Now, let me give you an example of it. I don't know if you guys have heard of AdMob before, but AdMob is a website. Actually, Google just purchased them, which allows you to send traffic from, well, pretty much advertise on all these different phones out there, not just smartphones, but any type of phone, and then drive them to a certain website. So it's all, instead of advertising, let's say, Google PPC, and then you send them to a website and you advertise on Google search area, what you can do is advertise actually on phones. And that's what admob.com allows you to do. So I teach you how to do geo-targeting and stuff where you can, let's say the restaurant or any type of local business is in Los Angeles, for example. You can target all the way down to Los Angeles. Just cell phones in Los Angeles will receive this ad, and on it you could have two options. You can send them either to the mobile optimized website you created for them, or you can do a click-to-call feature, which is pretty much the ad will pop up there and it'll say, click here to call to get to make reservations or to get a deal tonight or something. So what that'll allow you to do is when they click that on the phone, it'll automatically start calling the front desk of a local business. So it's another way that you can do another service for a local business and drive new customers to them, which they'll honestly be willing to pay you. I mean, that's priceless. If you can drive them 100 new customers every 2 weeks, which they would have never had before, you can charge a lot of money for that kind of feature. So that is another thing, and that's actually where my specialty comes from, is that mobile advertising. So I really get into in depth on how to do that inside of that section, which is a cool thing to know as well. So not only that, there's also Mobile Mastermind, which is actually one of the main reasons I decided to go into local mobile marketing. And the thing is that when I first started doing local mobile marketing, I met with a bunch of people in this mastermind, and all the guys in there were talking about text message marketing. And that's when I realized that this was a future. I actually recorded all those masterminds and everything. And the masterminds include a bunch of like webinar masterminds with mobile experts that know their stuff in apps, like how to create apps and stuff, how to do Fortune 500 one of the guys does a lot of Fortune 500 mobile marketing for them, a lot of local business stuff like I just mentioned before. And I actually have all those masterminds, webinars recorded. They were all webinars, and we were all on there talking and everything. And the cool thing about it is we still have more masterminds set up, which you'll be able to be a part of live on webinars, which means you can actually be there with me and with all the other experts and chat together, and we can all pick each other's brain on what's the next thing in mobile, which is what Mobile Mastermind is, because I really like learning from everyone and really contributing in a mastermind where we can all be together. And that's one of the other cool things that is inside of Local Mobile Monopoly for you guys. And the other great thing is a lot of you on Facebook, I hope. That's huge right now, social media. So when I first started doing mobile marketing for local businesses, a lot of local businesses asked me, is there a way to also do my social media? I know I have to manage my Twitter account, my Facebook, whatever. And I'm like, well, I actually don't know much about social media myself, but actually my good friend, Justin, who just got his MBA in marketing, and his focus was actually social media, is a genius when it comes to social media. So I had Justin actually teach me, and also he's going to teach you guys exactly how to easily charge a couple $1,000s per month to just manage their Facebook fan pages and manage their Twitter accounts and their whatever, YouTube accounts, whatever other social media they need. You could actually add that on to the mobile marketing that you're doing for them. And combining social media and mobile marketing together is also another cool thing that comes out of it, which is even more powerful than just using one or the other, which Justin actually goes into as well. And like I say, the combo of the two are just unstoppable, which is very, very true. I mean, you know, you're on Facebook all the time. I mean, I think Facebook is considered the third largest country if you were to consider it as a country with all the members of it right now, which is just nuts. So that's another crazy thing. So how much would something like this cost pretty much? Well, let's do the math. I'm not even going to try to hype it up because this is true. And Mark actually, this is actually what I would charge if you weren't a subscriber of Mark. And it's actually Local Mobile Monopoly, which is $77. Mobile Maker software, which allows you to create the mobile optimized pages and be able to charge local businesses. By the way, Local Mobile Monopoly also comes with YepText, which is a texting service that you can actually do the text message marketing and everything for. And Mobile Makers by itself is $804 if you add up a year subscription for it. Mobile Mastermind is $97 to be a part of that mastermind. Social Mobile Monopoly is $77. And the Local Mobile Monopoly Platinum package would be $1,055 altogether. So that is what I would charge if you weren't a subscriber of Mark for everything. But Mark asked me, and when Mark asked me if I can do a webinar with his subscribers, I told him I would be happy to give a 25% discount, which would be a $797 package for everything that I just talked about right now. But Mark really goes above and beyond for you guys and for us as well. He's helped us out a lot. So we decided to hook everyone up on this webinar with a much bigger discount. And what is that, $697? No. $597? Obviously, no, not that either, because I want to make it very affordable for all you guys. So we decided to give you over a 50% discount. So for just a one-time payment of $497, remember this includes the following: Local Mobile Monopoly plus our texting service for $77, Mobile Maker software for 1 year membership is $67 per month, Mobile Mastermind and Social Mobile Monopoly all for $497 just for Mark Ling's subscribers. So that's for you guys right now.
Interject and let people know that are probably wondering, Mobile Monopoly just launched a couple of days ago for $77. That's the front end offer. That's the number one right there. All of the other offers below it are actually on special at those prices right now. $67 a month for 1 year, which is $804, $97 for Mobile Mastermind, $77 for Social Mobile Monopoly, and even the $77 for Local Mobile Monopoly. So those are special prices. So they're not hyped up prices there. If you're looking for the retail prices, they're actually higher than that. So it's actually a really, really good deal at $497 for everything. Sorry, you were going to mention, sorry, I'll let you carry on. You've got some bonuses to mention, and also you're going to give people the links to both the $77 version and the $497 version, depending on what people prefer.
Yeah, so let's...
And then we're going to take lots of questions, guys. We're going to stick around to answer a lot of questions.
So pretty much Mark's exclusive bonuses are the Money Mobile tools, which are worth $97, which is a cool thing that we created. The new SEO, mobile SEO, so how to do mobile SEO for local businesses, $197 value as well, you guys get for free as a bonus. The Make Money on the Spot, which is a really cool thing where it's geo-targeting like customers that are walking past a local business right there on the spot, which is cool, you get for free. How to drive driving customers, which is another $197 value, which you guys are going to get as a bonus. Banking with Bluetooth, which is a cool feature where it incorporates Bluetooth marketing, which is kind of a little bit hard to explain on here, but I have step-by-step training on exactly that you guys are going to get for free as well. And all night, a webinar, all night long with Tim and I. We're going to do a webinar with you showing you exactly how to do everything and making sure your questions are all answered and everything, and that is going to be thrown there as well, which is priceless because we'll be there literally as long as you want us to be there for. And the bonus total is worth over $885 in bonuses, which you guys are going to get for completely free. So that is all exclusive just for Mark Ling subscribers, all of you that are watching. So I want you guys to definitely look at that page right now and see how many bonuses are on there. So that's that. And then you have two options. So you can either take advantage of Mark's subscribers only Mobile Monopoly Platinum package with everything we have to offer at 50% discount, and it includes the $885 in bonuses, and that is the http://go22.com/local1. So that's not local with a L at the end, it's local and then a 1 at the end. or you can gain access the normal way to local mobile monopoly at $77, which is the same thing with just a 2 at the end. So you guys have...
Is that a capital L, is it? Because I just want to make sure that definitely works.
Yes, it's a capital L. I'm pretty sure it'll work both ways.
Okay. I'm just double checking.
Alrighty, cool.
See if it works. Yeah, it does seem to work both ways, so that's good.
Cool.
I'm just thinking, like I talked to Tim about this, and I've hooked people up, guys. Actually, I hope you don't mind, Adam, but I hooked everyone up already talking to Tim that those particular bonuses, I'm pretty sure it was all of them, they'll get them either way, whether you join the $77 one or the high price one.
Exactly.
Right, so the 885 and bonuses, you can you'll get those whether you buy the 77 or the one at the top, which is $497. But the good thing about the $497 offer is it comes with the, sorry, will you mention those other features again? I remember the
yeah, it comes with local mobile monopoly plus the texting service, MobiMaker's software, which creates the mobile optimized websites for you that you can go to local businesses and charge thousands of dollars for. Also, it comes with Mobile Mastermind, which is all the recorded masterminds that I've had, plus new ones that we're having soon with other mobile experts out there, and also Social Mobile Monopoly, where you can do social media for local businesses as well, combine it with mobile, and charge even more towards local businesses.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I like. I mean, I kind of think that the MobiMakers seems quite. I mean, it's not essential. You can totally do this whole thing by buying the $77 product. You're going to learn. You're going to get the full education for $77 and how to charge yourself out, what services you can provide, how to go about getting clients and supplying.
And also the texting service.
And you get the texting service. So you get all of that for $77. So that to me is a complete no-brainer. But I feel like this is really putting it on steroids by adding the mobile mastermind, the social mobile monopoly, and in particular, though, what interests me is that MobiMaker's software, which is it's normally $804 for 1 year's access, and that's all included in that $497 offer. And am I correct in saying you haven't offered this particular offer at this particular pricing for anyone else at this stage?
Yes, you are the only person we've done that with.
Right, because yeah, I mean, I talked with Tim about this extensively about making sure I got a special for you guys that are listening. So now we're going to take questions, and I'm going to. Are you all right to stick around for as long as there are questions coming in? All right, because we've got a lot of people asking stuff. All right, cool. So people are asking about Yep Text, like how it's not working necessarily right yet for phone lines outside of the United States. But you're saying, you said before that within the next month the Yep Text service will work in all countries, or are you just rolling it out slowly over a couple of countries, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, we actually, for Yep Text, we're actually working on it right now for other countries and everything, but inside of Local Mobile Monopoly, like I mentioned before, we actually mentioned a few of the texting services for other countries, which I actually use for businesses that are outside of the U.S. So the thing is, at the end of the day, anything that can send a text broadcast is going to do the job for you. But we built Yep Text around what we saw lacked in other ones out there. And actually the 3 that I mentioned inside of Local Mobile Monopoly that work for other countries as well have a lot of the same features, pretty much all the same features as Yep Text. So they are just as good. And Yep Text, like I said before, we're also expanding within the next month or so to other countries. So it'll also be international. Okay.
Just for people wondering about the bonuses, if you join through either of those 2 links on the screen, they'll be offered to you for, they'll be just given to you inside your members area automatically. We've set that up already. All right, I've had a guy ask, or I've had quite a few people asking this throughout the webinar, how do you get the mobile numbers that you want to target? Like, let's say there's a restaurant that wants to send out a mobile text message to all the customers. How do they get these mobile numbers?
Okay, so pretty much an example to show you guys. If I go to, let me go to mobile helpers here real quick, and I'll just go to /Adam Horowitz. This is, let's just act like what's on the page right here in the section I'm about to this area right over here, this yellow area, if you guys, I know there's a little delay, but hopefully you're all on the page now, and it says how it works. So pretty much where it says text demo to 41242, let's make an example and say that a restaurant is called Demo. And let's say this little yellow area is a little flyer or a little table tent that's sitting on a restaurant's table. And it says text Demo, because the restaurant's name is Demo, to 41242 to receive text coupons. When someone texts Demo from their cell phone to 41242, it automatically will subscribe them to a list, just like when they opt into a list in a squeeze page or something, automatically subscribe them to the list right there on the spot, so that the local business or you as a mobile agent is like what I like to call you. If you're doing the mobile marketing for the business, you're a mobile agent. You can do it for them by texting to all the people who subscribe. So it pretty much just opts them in right away as soon as they text that. And if you want to test it, you could actually text Demo to 41242 right now with your cell phone, and you'll actually see a response come back to you.
Okay, that's only if you're in the United States. You can test that particular
Correct.
one, though, right? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, what happens if somebody wants to opt out? How do they do that? Let's say you get texts every now and then and you don't want to get them anymore.
Well, that's actually one of the big things, because we didn't want to, with the FTC, you have to follow their rules and everything. So after every single text that is sent, there's a text to stop. It'll text back stop, and it'll automatically unsubscribe you. So all you have to do is text stop back and reply to it saying stop, and they'll unsubscribe you from the list. So every text message will have that listed underneath it.
Okay, great. Now, and I just want to mention that there are other ways of grabbing these, for these businesses to get the text message, by the way. Like, for instance, they could simply say, they could put up a sign inside their restaurant that says, hey, if you send certain text to this certain number, we'll instantly give you a $5 off coupon to have $5 off your meal right now. Or they can get their cell phone number. I mean, I don't know if this is FTC compliant or not. Like, you tell me, Adam. I don't really know for sure, but you could get it on the phone when they're making the reservation, simply by saying something like, we need to grab your phone number so that we can text message you a reminder of the reservation an hour before.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is that inside of, let's say you go to a local business and the local business says, yeah, we actually have a database of phone numbers already of people who have gave us our phone numbers. Some way they've got it by getting permission from the person, obviously, to have them. Inside of YepText, let me just show you real quick. If you go to contacts right here and you go to upload contacts, you can actually import like a Excel file with all the phone numbers, or you can just copy and paste them right here. You can put up to 1,500 numbers and click submit and choose which group you want them to add them to. So if the restaurant is Adam, for example, you send them to the Adams group and click submit, and then you could import all of their customers they already have like that as well. So that's a feature that most of these texting services offer. So you can immediately start texting their customers they already have.
Right. Now, people, if they get mobile monopoly, local mobile monopoly, whether you might want to put the links back on again, just so people can see them. But if people, whether they join the $497 complete package, including Mobi Makers, Mobile Mastermind, Social Mobile Monopoly, and everything, whether they get that one or whether they get local mobile monopoly, the $77 cut down version, which includes the training and the YepText service, whichever one they get, either way, you're saying that they get YepText, right?
Yes, either way.
Now, with YepText, they can't just send unlimited messages for free, right? That'll cost per text message. How much does that cost?
So so pretty much what we do is we're giving you 100 text messages and one Yep word with your YepText account, which means you can send, let me just give you an overview of what you should do with those 100 text messages. Is those 100 text messages, you should use it to go and approach the first local business. And you should use that all with the first local business, because once the local business starts to pay you, then you could upgrade your YepText account. And it's actually, we've made it very cheap for the local Monopoly members, because we want to make sure that you're making huge profits with the business that you're doing the service for. So it's a very, very cheap per text message. It's like, I think 5 cents, 6 cents per text message that you can send out. And but we give you 100 text messages included with one of your Yep words.
Okay, great. So, do you recommend when, let's say you're charging a business $1,000 a month to do all their text messaging for them, do you usually recommend that you charge them on top for each text message that goes out, or do you recommend that you just say flat rate $1,000, keep it simple for them because most businesses won't send more than a text or two a week anyway to their list, and at 5 cents times, let's say a restaurant had 700 people times 0.05, that means it's going to cost them 35 a text. Let's say they sent 8 texts in a month, that's $280 cost. Do you just include that in your $1,000, or do you, what's your recommendation there?
Yeah, we actually include that. What you do is when you go to the local business, you say, this is how many you'll get with your, if you're going to pay us, let's say, $1,000 per month, we'll include, for example, this is an example, we'll include 1,000 text messages or not 1,000, that's a lot, but you'll include maybe 500 text messages, and if you go over that amount, then you charge them a certain amount per text message from then on until the next month when they get their next.
So like 10 cents a text or something?
Exactly. 10. I think I usually charge around 12 cents a text.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's anywhere above what you're charging, so you can make a profit, obviously, on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could even break even on it if you really wanted to. It's up to you, because you're still getting the regular monthly recurring out of it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that makes sense. Because I mean, my theory on if you were to charge it at cost price for those when they go over is that if they ever shopped around, they'd look and go, oh, okay, he's charging per text just as low as anyone else, at 5 cents a text. They're not going to necessarily think about the $1,000 thing.
No, yeah.
So that's another option. Right, just letting you guys know that I've received a lot of questions, dozens of them in fact, and I'm going to do my best to stick around and just keep asking questions. So just if your question doesn't get answered anytime soon, just bear in mind I'm working my way through all of these. I've had Sean from Ireland just say, I'm in Ireland, straight up, will it work for me?
Yes.
It will work?
It doesn't matter where you live in the world, as long as you can go, as long as this business is obviously in your area, you can contact them and do mobile marketing for them. Now, YipText obviously will not work for you yet until we get it international, which should be in the next month or so. But inside of Local Monopoly, we talk about other ones that obviously you can use that will work. So
there's other ones outside of YipText as well. Yeah, because I had a few people punch into the GoToWebinar box, said that they knew about other services other than YipText. People seem to be interested in all your other things, like like the MobiMaker software and so forth, and the fact that you offer the full training. But they were saying, I mean, there are other services, and each country usually has something like YipText anyway. So
exactly.
So you may wish to look that way. I had someone asking me, and I'd like to answer this one. Adrian was asking, do you think that mobile marketing would be better than offering SEO as far as online services are concerned? And I think that, if you're a good search engine optimization expert, then why not just offer both? Why not just have two aspects of what you offer? You offer maybe website design. If you're an SEO expert, you probably offer web design as well. So you could offer web design, you could offer mobile marketing, and you could offer search engine optimization services. So it's just an extra package that you can offer. No reason why you can't offer all of them. I've got a friend of mine that did some mailbox drops recently in local businesses, just offering to build simple 5-page WordPress sites for them. He offered prices between $300 and $500 per text message. And he managed to get over 50 clients from running a whole bunch of mailbox drops. So I thought that was really impressive. And you know what? And that's not doing mobile marketing, but I'm just saying, like, the concept of approaching local businesses is a very, very good one. And you know what? I bet that he'd make even more if he was doing the mobile marketing thing, because it's a lot less competitive. A lot of businesses already have a website these days, but not many actually do mobile marketing.
Yeah, and another thing I want to throw in there is actually, it doesn't necessarily have to do with what you just mentioned, but if you guys are kind of thinking, well, I don't know what local business to contact first or anything like that, what I actually recommend doing is starting with your friends and family. And if any of your friends or any of your family members own any type of business that you think you can help them by you telling them how to do text message marketing, everything, start with them, because the trust is already there between you and your family member or your friend. And that's going to be the easiest person for you to get to start with. And once you start helping them, they're going to, obviously, you can ask them to go and tell their friends about it who also own businesses, and then it'll spread like wildfire, since you can just tell them to all give your mobile helper's website link away to everyone, and then you'll have people contacting you.
A lot of people out there that don't like selling things to your family or your friends, and I don't like doing that sort of thing myself. One thing that you can do that makes you feel a lot better about it is simply saying, you know what, I'll do it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
You say, I'll do it for free. All I want is for you to track the results, and this is what I charge normally. And when you're making great money from it, maybe you could pay 20% off my normal fee or something like that. So you know, you make the money first and then go from there. I mean, that's the whole point, is that you're making them more money. So you don't want to feel bad about making one of your family members more money. So then you just, but then again, you don't want to necessarily charge them. So one thing you could do is simply do it that way, where you make them money first, and then, you know, if you're making them money, then they'll feel happy about maybe paying a discounted rate or something like that. Right, so Leanne was asking, does this include 1 year's access or is it lifetime? No, that's 1 year's access. Normally, Mobi Makers is on special for right now anyway, for $67 a month. So if you only take, say, the $77 option, which is local 2, you will be offered it at $67 a month. But that works out at $804 a year. Whereas if you choose the first one, which is local 1 at the top, then you're getting it included, and you're also getting the mobile mastermind, social mobile monopoly, the YetText, the local mobile monopoly main front-end product as well, all for $497. So it's, you know, you're basically getting it for less than half the price by doing it that way. Someone's asking, what's the typical monthly amount that you wind up charging your clients on average? I mean, you say $1,000 to $3,000. What's the most common amount spent?
Well, it actually varies, because let's say you contact a local business, a family-run business that isn't doing huge volume, obviously not making tons of money, and if they don't have tons of clients, then you obviously are going to charge them less to a company that has thousands of people signing up per month. You know what I mean? So it really does vary. But I never charge. It's never less than $5.99 a month. So it's anywhere from $600 all the way up to, could be even $5,000, depending on the size. And if the people are going over the amount of text messages that they can send, and obviously you're charging them a certain price, whether it's 10 cents, 12 cents, 15 cents, whatever it is, that obviously adds on to the price as well.
Now, this is my own question. I noticed that you were saying that people should, it's only going to take them about 5 minutes a day per or less per company to send the text for them and stuff, right?
Yes.
So the reason, okay, 2 questions. One is the reason why you're doing it for them, that's because you can charge more that way by just doing everything for them rather than allowing them to do it all themselves, like higher perception of value?
Well, it's perception of value, and also a lot of these local businesses, they're busy, and a lot of them may not have time to do it themselves, so they'd rather just let you do it for them, you know.
Okay,
so that's
great.
Another reason.
Yeah. Okay, and I just got to go my trace of thought there. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I'm just going to ask you another question while I try and remember that one. Okay, so another question from Ed is, how does a newbie pre-sell all of this stuff to a potential client over the phone? How do you get past, say, a gatekeeper on the phone?
Well, pretty much you talk to them about, you ask them, are they doing any type of mobile marketing already? And obviously the answer is going to be no, most likely, because less than 1% do anything. And then pretty much you tell them, usually if you call, if it's a bigger company or whatever, the actual owner isn't going to answer, or the manager isn't going to answer. So you pretty much say, can I talk to the manager or the owner or whatever? And if the thing is, you want to contact, depending on what kind of business you want to contact, which I talk about inside of the members area, there's certain businesses that you want to contact at certain times. So let's say like a restaurant, you wouldn't want to necessarily contact on between a Thursday and a Sunday, because that's probably their busiest time. You may want to contact them on a Monday through Wednesday, So you contact them when it's obviously the slowest, and then you just ask if you could speak to the manager or the owner. Some of them are going to flat out say he's not there or whatever, and it's really not every single business you're going to call is going to say, yes, let's talk to them right away, because that's not how it is. I mean, it's kind of a numbers game at the end of the day. Not every single one is going to go for it right up front. So the ones that do give you the phone to the manager or the business owner, you can pretty much say, yeah, if you want to just sit down real quick, go into the internet and look at my mobile helpers account, I'll actually sit with you on the phone here while you watch the video. It's like a minute video long. It's just 1 minute, very short. And then what you do is you just tell them to send a text to whatever your yep word is that you have as a demo and say, look what happens when you text. They'll get a text back on their phone right away, and they'll be right there on the spot, see that it really is possible, and this could be used for them. And then my actual favorite approach, I think you talked about it before, Mark, but you said for family members do it for free. Well, I actually do it for free for everyone. I contact them, I do exactly what I just told you, and then I say, look, I know you might be a bit skeptical, but chances are that they're not. But when it comes to mobile, they already know it works. But you could say, look, let me do it for a month for free or 2 weeks for free, because I know personally that it'll work for them. And once I do it for that, they'll immediately start seeing results after whatever. You can say a week for free. And after that week, you can say, look, you built a list of 50 people, and I've sent a text broadcast. You can call them and say, look, you built a list of 50 people. Tonight I'm going to send a text broadcast out for you 3 hours before dinner, if you're using a restaurant for the example. And you can show them live and right there on the spot when they see people come in, because it's easy for a local business to read if it's working for them or not. Because the customers are going to bring the phone in and actually show the text message. You know what I mean? So it's not like they have to ask, how did you come here, or to make sure that they came to the text messages. Obviously, the people are going to say, yeah, I got this text for the coupon, or whatever it is that you're giving away. So it's easy for a business to read that. So that's basically the whole procedure. I go with them, I do exactly what I said, and I offer it for free for a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Once they start seeing results, then I say, all right, how would you like me to do this for every month from now on, and then charge. And then the cool thing about it is by doing it for free for them first, what you can actually say to them is how much extra income did it bring you this month because of it. And if they say it brought me an extra, let's say if it's a smaller business, it brought me an extra $1,500. You can say, all right, well, how about you charge me $800 per month, and I'll do this every single month for you. And then obviously as it grows, you can charge them more. But that's how I kind of read it. I read it and say, all right, it's brought them this much money. So let's say if they charge me this much, they're still making a huge profit that they wouldn't have ever made, money that's just all extra from what the service I'm doing for them. So that's really how I do the whole thing in a nutshell.
Right. I mean, another thing that you could do is once you learn a lot about mobile marketing is just write up a free report and say, right, here's 7 ways that you can use the power of text messages to add an extra 20% to your bottom line. Or something like that. And sorry, you go. No, you go.
Go ahead. Okay. I was just going to say that you might assume that you don't know that much about mobile marketing or whatever the case is. You might feel a bit scared to approach a local business or whatever. But the fact is, at the end of the day, is that you know more than 99% of people now that you've been on this webinar. Now that I've shown you, talked to you about mobile marketing, text message marketing. You know more than 99% of the people out there. So you should feel strong inside when you go and approach them that they're going to be super excited and look at you as an expert when they're talking to you. Even though you may not think of yourself as a super expert already, you know more than 99% of the people out there. So you need to have that attitude, when you go to them.
Okay. Now, Tim told me that you could only do this special for those people on this webinar because it's not something you've offered to anyone else before. So just a quick reminder, guys, just so you don't miss out. The top one up there, that's just for people that are watching this webinar. So you want to go there now before it is gone. But the one below, that expires like the lower priced one. You're running that launch over the course of a week? Is that right? I mean that's expiring early next week or something. Okay, so. That one, so that one's expiring then, but just letting you know there. Okay, so all right. The next thing that we've got, I'm just letting people know there's a lot of questions. So we're going to stick around and we're going to answer as many of them as we can. But I may take time to get to your question because I've got over 100 questions in the queue here. So chances are I can't answer all of them, but we'll ask as many as I can get through. Okay, it's just that there's several hundred people on the call, and we're doing our best. Okay. Now, I've had several people actually asking about this Mobi Makers, and it's great that you can make these websites. In just 10 minutes, you can make a mobile optimized website, but they all say Mobi Makers on it. Is it possible to customize it so it just has looks like the restaurant site, or at least co-brands it with their logo? Or
Yeah, well, these Mobi Maker websites, we have a bunch of different templates for you to choose from. They're all different templates, and you can upload your own logo to it. You can change the colors of it. It's completely customizable. It doesn't actually say Mobi Makers anywhere on the website. When you host it with us, it says it in the domain, but we actually have the feature so that you can host it on their own domain if you want, which is a super easy way to do that. We teach you how to do that as well. Or you can completely host it on a different place. So there's 3 different options for you, and none of them, and the only one that will say Mobi Makers is in the domain is when you host it. Other than that, the website doesn't say it or anything like that.
Okay, gotcha. And how do you initially reach customers? Oh, sorry, we've already answered that question actually. Just having a look. We've already answered that question. Someone reckons that the FCC, I haven't heard of an FCC, that might be an American thing, says that the phone marketing to consumers is illegal. Is that correct or not correct? That doesn't sound right.
That is not correct, no. As long as you, I don't know if they're talking about phone marketing when you call to people, maybe that could be it, or when you call. I know when you call to people, like the call centers or whatever, and then you can get your phone blocked off of a list of calling, and then you're technically not allowed to call that person anymore. But this has nothing to do with that. This is obviously texting, and secondly, the FTC says that you have to have a unsubscribe, just like in every email you use in Aweber or whatever it is. You have to have an unsubscribe thing at the bottom of every email or every text message. So that's something that we follow with them to make sure that it is totally allowed, to make sure that everyone does know how to unsubscribe if they need to unsubscribe or they don't want to receive it anymore. So that's all inside of the text message built in.
Okay, cool. I've had a few, not many, but I've had the odd person actually notice when they go through that local one link at the top that it's not actually necessarily working with my affiliate link. It's saying affiliate equals none. As long as it says affiliate equals Affilorama, or it says affiliate equals none, as long as it says one of those, then Tim's already just messaged me before to let me know that that will track. So you're still going to get all your bonuses and everything. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago, Tim came in and actually told me. So it's been changed now for about 10 minutes working.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, has it? Okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. And how many days is your money back guarantee?
60 days because it's with ClickBank.
Okay. So. Well, that's great to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And for those that are asking about the Mobi Makers software, it's 1 year's access at that price. I'm just scrolling through. Some of these messages have already been answered. Oh yeah, there was a question I was going to ask you earlier that I completely forgot to ask you. You were saying about doing it for other people, like doing the texting, because they don't necessarily have time, it's a higher perceived value, and that sort of thing. But people could outsource that, couldn't they? I mean, let's say you found that you were spending 2-3 hours a day sending these texts, and yeah, you're making lots and lots of money, but you may not necessarily want to be doing that yourself. You could either hire a staff member, or you could get someone, say, in the Philippines, pay them, a certain amount of money per month to work for you part-time or full-time.
Yeah, the thing is that
this.
if you're spending 2 to 3 hours a day sending text messages, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, obviously, because that's a lot of time spending just sending text messages. But the thing is that you can obviously just give someone else your YepText login details, and they can do it all from, as long as they have access to your if you're not using YepText, any of your texting services, you can obviously get anyone to do it for you and just teach them how to do it. It's very simple. Okay,
so you'd probably want to hire someone locally, even just to work from home doing it, rather than overseas, because then it's easier to get hold of them and stuff. Exactly. I mean, given that you're not really going to reach that problem until you're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. No, okay, so that's good to know as well. All right. Just scrolling through because a lot of these questions have been answered already. Someone was asking if you could repeat the bonuses. Would you mind doing that really quickly?
Sorry, what did you say? It cut out there.
Would you mind just repeating the bonuses really quickly?
Let me go and find them real quick. Hold on. Here they are. The money mobile tools, the new SEO, so mobile SEO, make money on the spot, driving customers, banking with Bluetooth, all-night webinar with Tim and I, and those are all of them right here.
Awesome. Okay. No, that's fantastic. Okay. I'm just scrolling through. Someone's asked if there's a way to pay for the premium package in multiple payments, and I can answer that. The answer is no, because it's just a special one-off deal for people on this webinar. But if you can't afford the premium package, you can still get the starter package for $77, and you can add the other packages later on when you can afford them by running your mobile marketing business. Let's have a look. Do we get our own short code, or does that belong to LMM, Local Mobile Monopoly? Ange was asking.
Well, the short code, if you're going with YepText as the service for your text message marketing, your short code is going to be 41242, which is what everyone will text to, but you get your own unique Yep word, which is what you will text to subscribe people to your list. So you could have as many Yep words as you want. Each business will obviously have their own Yep word, and they will all share the same short code. Because actually short codes are very hard and expensive to actually, first of all, to get a short code in the United States, it takes usually 6 months to get one approved by all the phone companies. And the other thing is, for a short code, it's very expensive. It's thousands of dollars every month to have running. So to have different short codes for every single person would obviously be impossible, but every single person has their own unique Yep word, which no one else has. So it's kind of the flipped way.
Okay, Rick says he says, I'm a potential client, but sending tweets is free. Why should I pay for sending texts? How would you overcome that objection?
Okay, for sending tweets is free. Well, the thing is that not everyone has a Twitter account, first of all. So only the people in the restaurant that would be able to receive these coupons would have to have a Twitter account.
They'd have to read their Twitter messages too. I mean, I don't know who.
They'd have to read them. Yeah.
Like, a lot of people have got so many people they're following on Twitter that they only read one, like a small percentage of them, as opposed to a text that goes bloop 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 in your pocket and you check it. It's a big difference.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly.
A huge difference. David asks I think he's just a little concerned because he says, by utilizing your software and hosting, does that mean you're going to have access to the accounts that they set up?
No, it's actually all private. You guys will only have access to the account. We won't be able to get into the account unless you guys contact us and say that you need something switched or something's not working. Then we can actually log in and set up settings and stuff if you guys give us your login details to help you, because we have phone support and stuff inside of the members area and everything if that's the case. But we can't just go right into your account or your hosting or anything.
Okay, so how long does it normally take between signing up a new client and building up a big mobile list for them, one that turns them a noticeable extra profit?
Well, it really depends. I mean, if you have a big company, or not, I wouldn't say company, but if you have a restaurant, I'll use a restaurant as an example again, it's a super popular restaurant and they have hundreds of people coming in and out of their restaurant every couple of days or so, then obviously it's going to be faster rather than a real estate agent where it's going to be a very few people texting to receive the house details. You know what I mean? So it really depends. It depends on how quick and how many people are actually seeing it. So it's all about traffic at the end of the day. But to see a notice when you would actually text to a list and see people come in, the fact that 97% of people open a text message, and the fact that if you text them at a time when they're like, let's say as a restaurant again as an example, if you text all the customers right before dinner time at like 4 o'clock, they're thinking about dinner. They're probably talking to their friends saying, where are we going for dinner tonight? Then you're going to have a lot more people coming in with that, you know what I mean? So by doing it that way, you will obviously see results much quicker. So.
Okay, cool. You might need Tim to turn his microphone off. He was just talking in the background.
Hold on 1 second. I'll go in. He's in the other office. Hold on 1 second. You keep talking now.
Okay, cool. Just letting people know that I'm going to get through. We're just going to. I'll keep them on the line for another 10 minutes, say. But there's no way I can get through all the questions because there's still over 100 in the queue, and I keep getting more added all the time. So I'm doing my best to ask him as many questions as possible. But we'll take another 10 minutes worth, and I'm just doing my best. Okay, so a lot of the questions though that I'm going through have already been answered. Although I seem to keep getting questions about YepText. How much does it cost? So the cost is you get 100 free texts, and then it's 5 cents a text within the United States. And I'm guessing you haven't come up with the pricing yet when you're releasing the international version of YepText next month.
Yeah, well, pretty much it's 100 free text messages, and you get 1 Yep word, and then you could upgrade your account. And the pricing, once you join, will be inside of your account if you want to upgrade. I'm not sure what the exact pricing off the top of my head is, but I know it's like for 700 text messages, or actually, right, let me see real quick. Let me just give you a quick example. For 850 text messages, and you get 2 Yep words, it would be like maybe $47 a month type of thing. So that means 2 Yep words would mean 2 businesses obviously can be using that because each business has their own Yep word, and then 850 divided by 2 for each business that you're doing it for. So that's like I think that's a starter. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just going off of memory, but I think that's what it is if you want to upgrade to the lowest plan.
Okay, so at that rate, let's say you're charging those businesses the lowest price that you recommend, which is $597, say, and it's costing you $47, and you're getting 2 Yep words, so you're basically getting enough for 2 businesses. So I'm going to work this out. 47 over 597. It means it's basically going to cost you around about the equivalent of about 4% of the money that of your profit. Okay, so basically you're still going to be making 96% profit rate. That's not counting you charging out for your time, of course, and web hosting if you do host for them on a separate server. So it's still pretty good.
It's a great
the markup is very high. It's well over 90%. So when you bear it in mind that way, and you're only paying for more things if you're getting more clients and if you want more Yep words.
Yeah, you don't get automatically billed or anything. It's only when you want to upgrade your account too. So it's like once you actually start seeing results, then you can decide, all right, I'll upgrade my account so you can have the amount of text messages you need for that business. So obviously you'll be making money at that time.
Cool. All right, I'm just scrolling down because a lot of these questions have been answered or are very, very similar. So each company, though, you're going to want to have its own YepText account, or are some people going to just all be on the same account, or how does that work?
Say it again. You cut out.
Each company that you've got that you sign up, they're all going to need their own YepText account, right?
No.
No, sorry, their own YepText. They're going to need their own word or whatever you call it. Yeah, not a Yep.
So it'll all be every company. Like if you have 10 different companies, you won't have to have 10 different YepText accounts. You'll have 10 different Yep words inside of your one YepText account. Just like I have on my screen here. If I go to YepText, I have 3 different Yep words. So that's 3 different businesses. If you look at each Yep word for each business, that would be 3 different businesses all inside of my thing. And there's no limit to how many you can have. You can have 100 if you want, 200. So there's no limit. All in one account.
Right. I mean, I've had one person just saying that $599 sounds really expensive and can't imagine businesses paying that much money. And I have totally seen businesses easily pay that kind of money for SEO services. I know one friend of mine makes $2 million a year charging out his search engine optimization services and charges their local businesses $3,000 a month. You know, and that's well ahead of $599, and all he does is maintains their high search engine rankings, which once he achieves them for them, it's very easy to maintain. Yes, they do if you're able to demonstrate that they're making more money from it. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. Like you can go in and just do it for free to start off with for your first couple of clients. You can just go in, do it for free, basically build up a list, get about 500 people or less even on their list, send them a couple of texts, and you'll see the money flowing in. Usually local businesses like restaurants, I've heard figures of around about $5 a text is what they make whenever they send a text message out. So if that's the case, and it's costing them, you know, maybe 10 cents a text or whatever it's costing you, whatever, let's say they get 500 people and it's $5 per text that they send out, and they send out one a week, it's an extra $2,500 a week. You know, they're going to spend $600 a month or even more. You know, that to me isn't a problem, especially if you're the, you know, it works that well that you're able to demonstrate it. Usually business owners don't, price is all relative. It's prices, it doesn't seem like much when they know that they can get an immediate fast benefit out of it. And when you compare it to advertising on the radio, maybe $10,000 minimum, or advertising in, at least that's what it is in New Zealand anyway, and advertising in a newspaper can cost a lot of money, a local newspaper. And then you're talking, you know, it's a much lower advertising cost that can potentially have a lot higher returns than any other form of advertising. So I'm sure they'll be able to see the value in it. Especially if you're able to mention that their competitor down the street does it. Like if you look up all these businesses and you find one of their competitors that's doing it already, then you could easily mention to them, look, I noticed that such and such, let's say you're approaching a particular restaurant, a Japanese restaurant. You say, look, I noticed that there's another Japanese restaurant called such and such, which is in your local area as well, and they've successfully been doing mobile marketing already. I've seen it on their website, and they could potentially be taking a lot of customers away from you. You know, then all of a sudden that makes them think as well. All right, I'm just seeing. Okay, are there any liabilities issues if you send an incorrect text out? How do you handle that? Like with a discount?
If you send an incorrect text out, so what do you mean by that? If
I don't know. I think maybe if you offer 50% off when you meant to say 5%.
Well, for that I would just say maybe
send a correction text. I'd say
send a correction text or just double check. I know with the texting services it says, "Are you sure that you want to send this message out?" And it gives you one before you click confirm one more last time. So maybe just reread it a few times just in case. But I think maybe if that's the case, I think just send out another text message, because it's not like email where you'll get a bunch of people opening first and then not that many people opening next. The text message pops up in your phone either way, so they'll get the text again if you send it one more time.
Okay, so does your training, specifically show you how to approach business owners and how to get phone numbers for the business owners to text to? Does it show you all of that in like a lot more detail than say we've covered on the webinar?
Yeah, it definitely does. I go through step-by-step PowerPoint like training videos on exactly how I do it and everything. And I didn't have that much time to explain it all in the webinar, but the videos I go in depth how to do it. So.
Okay, that's great. All right, so just having a look. I've had some people asking about like which offer should they take and so forth. Like, I mean, my recommendation is the special offer that we've got for the people watching this webinar only, but it is more expensive. It's $497, but you're also getting 1 year's access to the Mobi makers. You're getting the mobile mastermind. You're getting social mobile monopoly. It's it's a lot more value in terms of what it would normally cost you, and also basically it means that you can offer the full services that have been covered on this particular webinar. However, the $77 product, that's another option for those of you that can't afford the more expensive option, and you're able to still offer the texting, the texting services. You just won't be able to necessarily build them a mobile website, but you'll be able to do the rest. You'll be able to learn the full business inside out, and then after that, once you're making money, perhaps you might want to pay the full price for those particular options later on. It's more expensive. This is only for the people on the webinar, that particular $497 offer. However, if you can't afford it, then you might want to just spend the $77, get up and running, get yourself making money, and then choose those upgrade options. Even though they might be higher priced, you might find that more worth it to do that later on. It's up to you. Once you're already making money. This isn't for everybody, by the way. Not all of you are necessarily into this kind of thing. It's definitely very different to what I normally teach with affiliate marketing. When we're talking about getting clients here, it's so different, but it's also potentially very lucrative. And those that are more interested in affiliate marketing or selling your own info products and so forth, you may find that this is a way to get making money really quickly, and then you can use it to fund your other kinds of business as well in the future. So it's up to you there. And remember, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's very, very easy to get. These guys are really reputable. I know them personally, and I know that if you're not satisfied, even if you just don't like the font that they use to write on their website, they'll give you a refund. It's that easy. So just to let you know. How reliable is your SMS service? Like the text service, when you're texting people in the United States, how reliable is it that it'll get through to everybody, assuming that they have correct phone numbers in there?
It's very reliable. I actually, I've had a few. Every single time I send a text broadcast out, 100% delivery, and actually inside of your YepText account, it shows you how to. Let me actually show you guys live right now. If you go inside of your YepText account here, and then you go to analytics, which is over here, it'll show you how we have analytics built into it. And you can see here, it tells you the delivered. Look, 99.6% were delivered, but only 0.4% weren't delivered. 3 out of the 678 were not delivered, and that's probably because they were wrong phone numbers. So you can see here, out of that many text messages, only 3 were failed.
Right, so that's pretty impressive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also, I've had people asking, are these prices like whether you buy local 1 or whether you buy the local 2 link, which are just off the screen at the moment. But those that have asked which one whichever one they buy, it's just that they're both one-off prices. Like $77, you're not going to build the 77 again. The
Correct.
Local one, $497, that's a one-off price. You're not going to build it again, just to let people know.
Yeah, it's a one-time payment.
It's a one-time payment, but the Mobi Makers, it's 1 year. It's not like lifetime, just to remind people of that. Okay, I just want to say a big thank you for being on the call. I'm really sorry to guys out there if I haven't managed to get to your question. I've just had hundreds of questions literally come in because with the fact that we had several hundred people on this particular webinar. I thought it's really fascinating what you've taught here. In fact, I feel like even if I didn't buy your course, I could probably figure it out now and actually go out there and market this sort of service to people. But it seems to me to be a no-brainer to, at the very minimum, get the $77 product of yours that's got the full blueprint in there. And obviously, I really like that Mobi Makers software as well. The YepText thing looks really good, but the Mobi Makers is the one that, to me, I really like, being able to just build a website for a client in the space of 10 minutes that's mobile optimized. I think that's fantastic. So, guys, just a reminder that this special, especially the local 1 special at the top, that's expiring very shortly. It's just for people watching this particular webinar. So we'll be taking that offline very soon. The local 2 offer, that'll be open until, am I right in saying Tuesday is when it expires?
Yeah, that'll be open for the rest of launch until it's over.
Until Tuesday. So the second link open till Tuesday. The first link, though, up there is expiring soon. So it's just for people on this webinar. So I hope that you've enjoyed this webinar. I'll mail out a replay tomorrow for those that want to get get the replay. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for being on this webinar, and I really hope that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for everyone for coming along and listening. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tim and Adam.
No problem.
All right, guys, take action with what you learn, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
See ya.